What kind of woman shall I be if I were to take that away from her? From you? Neveah asked. I will turn 27 this summer. I have waited and searched 9 years for my mate, Thea. I will be Alpha soon, and my people will need a worthy Luna. You are my choice, Lucas Varleston said. Neveah shook her head. Lucas Varleston was standing his ground, and she knew she would have to make him understand, regardless of how cruel she needed to be to achieve that. And in the event that you do find your mate, what happens then? Will you sever the bond for me? Neveah asked straightforwardly. I will make the vow upon my honor if you require it. Cast your fears aside, Via. I am a man of my word, and I will stand by my choice, Lucas Varleston promised. Neveah was astonished by the sincerity in his tone, but it only spurred on her determination to spare him from her father's malicious intents. The bond of a mate is sacred, Lucas. It is beautiful. It is irreplaceable, and I say this only because I consider you noble and worthy of the greatest kind of love the universe has to offer. Your mate. She is worth waiting for, and I want you to have that kind of happiness, Lucas, a happiness I know I cannot give you. So if you care for me, then trust me. I will never be the right woman for you, Neveah said in a quiet tone. Lucas Varleston stared down at Neveah for a short moment. There was a sad look in his eyes at her rejection, and at the very same time, Neveah knew he understood. Your heart is more noble than I could ever hope to be. You have my respect, Princess, and I hope you find someone worthy of your love, someone who can truly be yours, Lucas Varleston murmured, before he pulled Neveah into a hug. Neveah returned the hug, a relieved smile on her lips as Lucas Varleston pulled away. My father and I shall return to Eclipse Claw after the Alpha Summit on Mount Vernon. We shall not return to the Eclipse Palace. I fear I must leave in a hurry. It shall be hard to look upon you without feeling heartbroken, Lucas Varleston admitted. Neveah smiled sadly and nodded in understanding. May I come see you off at the very least? I could ride to Mount Vernon after the summit is over. As friends? Neveah asked hopefully. She had not met a man of such sincerity in a long time. Eclipse Fang was filled with two-faced and pretentious wolves that Neveah had immediately thought Lucas Varleston to be just another one of them the day she had first encountered him. But now Neveah regretted she had not spent more time getting to know him. He was a character worthy of knowing. Neveah had never had a friend before. The kind of existence she lived did not allow for such luxuries. Every wolf in Eclipse Fang detested her because they knew the truth of her birth that others did not. And Neveah was not allowed to mingle with the human folk either. Well, I think I can survive through one more meeting, Lucas Varleston said with a smile. Neveah laughed and nodded before she took a step back and bowed slightly in respect. Lucas Varleston returned the bow, and Neveah headed off. Neveah took the side path leading to her quarters in the extended side of the castle. It took her a short while as she trudged at a slow pace, lost in her thoughts. Neveah, however, was drawn out of her thoughts when she felt a familiar presence and she glanced up to see Lotto. He stood with his arms crossed behind his back, outside the hallway leading to her quarters, and from the chilling expression on his face, Neveah knew she was in trouble. Lotto was Alpha King Lothaire's most trusted warrior. His presence could only mean one thing. The Alpha King sends for you. You are to come with me immediately, no questions asked, Lotto declared in the usual condescending tone with which he addressed Neveah. Neveah froze, a chill of terror running down her spine at the mention of her father. But Neveah quickly calmed herself. Okay, Neveah replied. Lotto huffed indignantly and strode past her, and Neveah followed behind him, hurrying to catch up with his fast strides. Soon they arrived in the main palace, and Lotto ventured in, heading down the familiar hallways that led to the Alpha King's office. Arriving outside the door, the knob turned, and Alpha Queen Vilma stepped out. Upon sighting Neveah, she sneered, but unlike her usual self, she made no further comments and simply strolled away with her attending she-wolves. Neveah frowned slightly, feeling unsettled by Alpha Queen Vilma's strange reaction to her. Lotto shoved her forwards when Neveah did not make any moves to enter, and the force sent Neveah stumbling into the office. The door slammed shut behind her before Neveah could regain her balance, and she stared around, realizing, other than her father who sat at his table, there was no one else in the office. "Greetings, Father," Neveah stuttered out, lowering her head to a bow. "The Eclipse Alphas depart to Mount Vernon for the Alphas Summit tomorrow, and you have had enough time. What information do you have for me?" Alpha King Lothaire asked, in his usual deep, dark tone. Neveah mentally reminded herself to remain calm as she took a few steps forwards, stopping before her father's desk, and then she began speaking. "Alpha Varleston of Eclipse Claw has recently changed governing policies, granting amnesty to the human population and the allowance to acquire pack rank," Neveah began. "In the course of this, his army, fame, and influence has greatly increased in the Eclipse domain, and his prospects in the coming pack rankings appear rather promising. This has become apparent to many Eclipse packs, who now seek alliance with the Eclipse Claw, thereby tilting the balance of power in the Eastern Eclipse domain in Alpha Varleston's favor. It could appear to other Eclipse Alphas that he is a force they might require protection from," Neveah reported. "You mean to say the rumors of treason are nothing but allegations made by envious Alphas?" Alpha King Lothaire asked. His tone terrified Neveah, but Neveah held her ground. Since her father had requested a report, she would give him just that, and she would hold nothing back. "I have doubted this conclusion at first, and was convinced of their involvement even, but I have concrete reasons to believe this conclusion now. In this circle of leadership, the battle for supremacy is fierce, and such underhanded tactics are prevalent," Neveah stated. Neveah knew her father had a hand in pitting the Eclipse Alphas against one another. It was his own method of ensuring a power balance. While Alpha Varleston and the Eclipse Claw have increased in power and influence considerably in a short time, it is owed to the support of the human population in their terrain. Furthermore, my inquiry reveals Alpha Varleston has awarded the command mark to all humans who are willing to take on pack duty. This grants them access to the Mind Link, as well as subjects them to the Alpha Command.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.